The Atlas Post. Small Business Administration offers coronavirus relief options, and today we're going to focus on the EIDL, or Economic Injury Disaster Loan. This is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Emergency Advance, and you're thinking, why do I need that? I'm looking for the EIDL. Just go from here, go to Additional Program Information, and eligible small businesses apply here. You could also pick the big button too. And when you go through this, they're trying to make the process streamlined, so they are collecting information and will ask you different questions. Here's the timeline or the schedule of what you should expect. And since we are not applying for a loan, I'm just going to show you some of the things that they're going to ask. So when you're doing the application, they say that it will take 2 hours and 10 minutes, although you may not need to complete all parts. So if you go back in this video just a little bit, and I told you all the things you needed, gather that information first, and it'll make the process a whole lot smoother and faster. So when they're talking about eligibility, we talked about being smaller than 500 employees, and you can be an agricultural enterprise with not more than 500 employees also. And you can also apply as a sole proprietorship with or without employees, or as an independent contractor. Note that when you apply like this, the EIDL advance portion is based on the number of employees in your business and will be $1,000 per employee up to 10 employees. And applicant is an employee stock ownership plan, ESOP, as defined in 15 USC, with not more than 500 employees. Applicant is a tribal small business concern. It's a business including an agricultural co-op, enterprise, nursery, or producer co-op with more than 500 employees that is small under SBA size standards. They do have a link to sba.gov /size-standards, which you can also just enter on the internet. And also that they're a private nonprofit organization that is a non-governmental agency or entity that currently has an effective ruling letter from the IRS granting tax exemption, and they do have something specifically for nonprofit. So just go ahead and read the information, and then review and check all of the following. Now this part is important. Applicant is not engaged in any illegal activity as defined by federal guidelines. No principal of the applicant within a 50% or greater ownership interest is more than 60 days delinquent on child support obligations. Now that one's really important because I do know people that filed for unemployment and they were not delinquent, but they did have it attached to their paycheck for child support. So they were expecting a much larger check, and to their surprise, they had a much smaller check because it went for child care, for child support. And they could not change the amount because they had become unemployed. So just be aware of that portion. Applicant does not present live performances of a sexual nature or derive directly or indirectly more than de minimis gross revenue through the sale of products or services, or the presentation of any depictions or displays of a prurient sexual nature. Applicant does not derive more than 1/3 of gross annual revenue from legal gambling activities. They're not in the business of lobbying and cannot be a state, local, or municipal government entity, and cannot be a member of Congress. And if you have questions about this applications or problems requiring the information, please contact the Customer Service Center at 800-659-2955 or Disaster Customer Service at sba.gov. Well, thank you in advance for joining us today and also helping to support the Atlas Post on Patreon. We bring you news relating to finances, stimulus bills, CARES Act, assistance programs, step-by-step, how-to, and more for those who like to get tips and hear their news. If you've been listening, I hope this is helping either you or somebody else that you are sharing it with. And please leave your comments as we do review them, and it helps us to determine which questions to answer as your comments on Patreon. If this has been helpful, share it with a friend, and we would appreciate a thumbs up. Check out our playlist and subscribe for the latest updates. Tap into your news with the Atlas Post. Have a joyful day.